If you're a fan of stylish fighting games, then there is a lot to be excited about in DNF Duel. I'm AJ, this is 128KB, and make sure you're subscribed for more PlayStation news and PS5 previews. The South Korean online multiplayer action RPG Dungeon Fighter Online, known in its homeland as Dungeon & Fighter, is one of the biggest and most successful video games of all time, with 850 million players all over the world and almost $20 billion in revenue. With its stylish anime aesthetic, it is particularly popular in Japan, where the game has received both manga and anime adaptations for its hungry fans. Probably due to the love of the game over there, now DFO is getting ready to receive a spin-off game from some of the most prolific Japanese development studios. Neepal, the subsidiary of Nexon that developed the original DFO in conjunction with both Arc Systems and 18, is developing the confusingly named DNF Duel. DNF, Dungeon & Fighter, is only used as the title for the game in South Korea, where everywhere else it is known as Dungeon Fighter Online. Perhaps there were licensing issues with DFO Duel, but for a Western tongue, Dungeon & Fighter is just a hilariously bad title for anything. However, all of those issues with the title were forgiven upon seeing the game's trailer. If you're a fan of stylish fighting games, then there is a lot to be excited about in DNF Duel. So let's take a look at some of the features that will be there upon its release. Even if you don't play fighting games, you can't deny that Arc Systems Works games are all marvels of art and action. They cracked the code of 3D anime appearance with Guilty Gear Xrd in 2014 and have been rocking that visual style ever since. They are now lending that style to DNF Duel, converting 2D sprites of the original game into magnificent 3D characters with tons of depth and detail. Another staple of Arc System Works games is the flashy cinematic super moves, which DNF Duel also seems to be getting if the game's announcement trailer is anything to go by. Teaming up with 18, a studio that has worked on fantastic fighting games like Bloody Roar and Marvel vs. Capcom 3, means that DNF Duel has just about everything going for it in terms of development. But you can't have a fighting game without fighting characters. Thankfully, DNF Duel has quite the roster. At launch, DNF Duel will have a cast of 16 characters to choose from, with more being added over time if previous Arcworks system games are an indicator of this game's future development. The announcement trailer highlights Ranger, a dual revolver-wielding fighter with a red hat and duster, Dragon Knight, a female fighter with tiny Dragger striker companion, and Ghostblade, a pale, white-haired fighter who summons a sword-wielding spectre to fight alongside him. Even from those few characters, you can tell that the roster for DNF Duel is going to be ridiculously cool. So, fighting fans and DFO diehards rejoice, DNF Duel is launching on PlayStation on June the 28th, but if that's too long for you to wait, then why not watch one of our other videos here at 128KB, and we'll see you next time.